What's up? We got Gossip Girl season 2, episode 23, Wrath of Khan. The Wrath of Khan. This episode starts off the Wrath of Khan. This episode starts off with Chuck and Georgina riding back to Manhattan from Christian camp. When he receives a call from Serena, she informs him that Gabriel left town with money. Wait, I picked a better. I picked a better.
Trying to have me killed? Fast? Fine. Oh my god, I am going to...
Juice.
So you just tell me fast out about that night?
I told you this. Oh, always.
For him, the only way her plan is going to work is by some act of God. Wow.
I love how they play that music. Okay. Anyway, what's up? We got Gossip Girl season 2, episode 23, A Wrath of Khan. Wait. What's up? We got Gossip Girl season 2, episode 23, The Wrath of Khan. This episode starts off with Georgina and Chuck riding back to Manhattan from Christian camp when he sees a call from Serena. She informs him that Gabriel left town with all the money. Lily, and the co-op members gave him and Poppy invested with, making the whole thing a scam. Chuck asks how much he got, and Serena says she doesn't know, but she's going to come tell Lily. She apologizes again for not believing him and Blair, and that they will make a plan to talk later. At the Vanderwoods, Serena arrives home and is greeted by Lily, who muses about how wonderful Gabriel is. Before Serena can explain, Lily gifts her with the bracelet that belonged to her great-grandmother. Serena says she just took it out of the safe deposit box earlier that day and wants Serena to have it to represent what an amazing woman Serena is becoming. Her phone rings and she answers it while Serena says they can talk later. As she walks by, she calls Blair and says she needs her help. At Nate's new apartment, Blair tries to flee, but Nate tells her that she can't use Serena as an excuse anymore to avoid talking. He asks her again if she will live in the apartment with him, but she doesn't answer and leaves, with him following. Elsewhere, Rufus is obscenely happy with Dan, and Dan and Jenny are concerned with it. Rufus is excited reveals that Gabriel led him on a great investment, that he's going to propose to Lily. Both the kids are shocked, saying that he just has to receive Eric's approval first, that he's going to do it. After the Vanderwoods, and Serena fills Blair, Nate, and Gabriel's skin. If she's okay. Serena says she doesn't know and is trying to help. She thinks it's crazy. Meanwhile, Chuck arrives in the apartment with Georgina. She wonders where Blair is and saying she wants to apologize to her. She tells her to wait in the kitchen while he goes to see what's going on. In Serena's room, she calls Gabriel and leaves a message saying she thinks she might be pregnant, and Chuck asks if they called the police. Serena says no because Lily would find out for sure and she wants to handle it on her own. Nate adds that they're taking care of it fine without him, and Blair advises Serena to let Chuck fix it. Dan enters the room saying that to ask what missing money they're talking about. Blair fills Dan in and shockingly says Rufus invested college money with Gabriel. And Serena asks him not, saying she'll take care of it. Blair scoffs, saying that Serena's plan will only work with the act of God. And as soon as she hears something about God, Georgina enters the room. They all yell at each other, and Serena yells at Chuck for seeing that's a must how Gabriel knew about butter because of Georgina, and what was he thinking bringing Georgina here? And then one of the most funniest lines that Michelle Trachtenberg has ever said, she says, who knows a Gabriel? That was funny. That was the funniest time I've ever laughed at anything Georgina said on the show, and it was hilarious. Asking if she asks if anyone knows a Gabriel. Serena grabs it and answers. Later on, she goes to the palace to meet Gabriel alone and sits down with him, and it relieves that she was scared about being pregnant. She insists that she's not, but she knows he scams everyone, and he can stay safe so long as he returns the money. And he says he can't give the money back. And Chuck comes to the table, followed by 2 security detail, and he tells Gabriel that he won't be leaving his Chuck's hotel, won't be leaving the hotel until he returns the money. And if he doesn't, Chuck will call the feds. Nervous, Gabriel says that he would give the money back if he could, but he can't because Poppy has it. Meanwhile, Dan finds Lily and tells her everything about Gabriel's scam, because this was terrible of Dan to do. Yeah, he decides to just go against what Serena wants and basically tell Lily everything about Gabriel's scam. And then what Serena's thinking so she can get it back herself. Lily's shocked and instructs Dan not to tell Rufus because she's going to take care of the problem. Dan, you idiot. You thought you were helping, but you're making everything worse. Serena is trying to make everything better, but by telling Lily, you're just making everything worse. Dan, you idiot. What is the matter with you? You idiot, Dan, you idiot. What is the matter with you? You messed things up, Dan. She asks him not to say anything to anyone and hugs him for telling her, even though that was dumb. Back at the palace, Gabriel explains that Poppy scams people for money in order to help her build a life of luxury and status. They met at Mercedes' launch party, and tried to scam the other, but ended up deciding to work together to scam people. Chuck realizes what they're dealing with is a Ponzi scheme, and Gabriel tells Serena that he and Poppy used her to get to Lily, who is very, very wealthy, who's the very, very wealthy widow of Bart Bass. He admits that he has real feelings for Serena because of his relationship with Poppy. But his relationship with Poppy is all business, and once they felt they had enough money, they would leave town while she stayed to be a socialite. She planned to buy him out of the scheme, but instead of meeting him, she emptied their bank account and went to the hotel to blame the whole thing on him. And finally, he says that the only chance they're going to have getting back the money is finding Poppy. Outside, Blair, Nate, and Georgina wait for Serena and Chuck. He comes out and explains that Poppy is the mastermind, and Serena follows after. She says goodbye to Gabriel and leaves. Dan wonders why Poppy would stay in town after what she did, and Serena explains she has to if she's going to play victim, and blames the whole thing on Gabriel. Chuck asks they need to corner her with a sap. With a sap, she thinks she can manipulate for money, and they all turn to God-loving Georgina because they do. After vandalism, Lily meets up with Bass's manager, Bruce. I thought he was their lawyer. I think he's the business manager now, but he's their lawyer in later seasons. I don't know. To figure out how to handle the situation. Serena arrives home and Lily asks for a moment with her. She realizes she knows about the scam and is disappointed she didn't come to her. She realized Dan told her and apologized for not saying anything, but it's going to fix it. Lily orders her not to do such a thing, as her reputation will be ruined if the story ever got out. Serena asks what they should do about Poppy, as it was her plan, but Lily still insists to let it go. Afterwards, she sits back down with Bruce and says that they've arranged payouts to everyone except Rufus. Lily suggests that they should handle his payout a little differently. Meanwhile, Rufus takes Eric for a walk and shows him the ring. Eric is happily surprised and asks how he's going to propose. at most of the times Lily's been proposed to has been grandiose and romantic. Rufus hesitates before saying he has a lot of ideas. At the Waldorf, Blair attempts to give Georgina a makeover so she can meet with Poppy. However, Georgina remains firm on her principles to no longer scheme and do evil things. Blair argues that she just brought her back to entrap Poppy as a way to earn her forgiveness, since she's been seeking it. Georgina learned that the lessons and decides that Blair is right as she goes into her closet to pick an outfit. Blair receives a call from Serena and tells her that Lily wants to call off the plan and orders her not to do anything else until she calls her back. At the Vanderwoodsons, Serena goes to the living room to find Lily having tea with Poppy. Lily explains that Poppy came by to see how they were doing after the Gabriel thing and tells them that she's going to Miami the next day. Serena whispers to Poppy to check her lipstick and excuses her to go to the bath. When she's gone, Serena tells Lily that they should be calling the police. Lily refuses, saying that they already agreed that the adult thing to do is to let her and the situation go. Again, Dan, this is how you fought, you idiot. If you would just let Serena do what she needed to do, Poppy would be in jail, not being let go for being a scamming criminal. So, yeah, I'm kind of mad at Dan right now. Dan's an idiot for thinking that Lily could be trustworthy. I guess Serena's plan is crazy, but telling Lily was wrong of him to do. Serena's plan is crazy, but they're just wanting her to catch her in a lie, not to revealing that she's the real mastermind. But it's Lily's plan. She just let her leave and call in other people and to see if they're not the biggest to see if they won't fall for it as they did, which is a terrible plan. But still, back at the law, Dan refuses a call informing Rufus that the paperwork for the investment is on the way. Confused, Dan says he thought since the deal wasn't happening. But Bruce says he should begin to receive dividends in about 6 weeks. At the Waldorf, Serena shows her the new Georgina, who introduced herself as Sherilyn Phillips, the daughter of a rich oil owner who is excited to make a friend in New York. Next day, Chuck looks over the new Georgina and decides she'll do. Dan asks if she's sure this is a better plan than calling a cop. Serena replies it's better than Lily's plan to do nothing. Chuck explains that Georgina has a recording device in her bag, and once they get tape of her taking all the money, they can blackmail her into giving the money back. Nate wonders how they're going to try to do this. Blair responds that she thinks Gabriel took the fall, so she's in clear to do what she wants. On the way out of the Waldorf, Dan calls Serena to ask about the dividend. She tells him that she's taking care of it and hangs up on him. At the Vanderwoods, Rufus and Jenny arrive carrying all of Lily's favorite thing he's going to use before he proposes. He admits he's nervous, and Jenny encourages him, saying his proposal is special because he needs to show her how much he really loves her and knows who she is. Elena arrives home and Jenny escorts her upstairs to buy Rufus time to set out. At the Russian tea room, the gang and Georgina arrive. Nate asks for a moment to talk with Chuck outside about Blair. He tells him to man up or tell her how he feels or let her go, so they can have a real relationship. At the Vanderwoods, Jenny is filling Lily in on the plot of Twilight to distract her until Lily's phone starts to ring. Oh, remember Twilight? That's the only Twilight movie I saw. I didn't see a lot of other Twilight movies because I was so confused about them being called the Saga. Like, why did they just call it Twilight 2? Why did they make it a saga? Anyway, Lily answers the phone to find Dan on the other end, asking about the dividend. Lily says she got the money back and put it in a mutual fund, and they'll pay him dividendly monthly. Dan then asks what Serena's doing at the Russian tea room. And Lily calls Serena immediately to tell her to stop what she's doing. Lily orders her to stop again, but Serena apologizes before hanging up on her. Afterwards, she makes another important call. Rufus leaves where he stumbles upon Lily's files of repaying the scam victim. He finds his name and learns that she has scheduled 5 $100,000 a month dividends for him. Meanwhile, Poppy arrives at the Russian tea room and sits down with Georgina / Sherilyn while they talk. Blair and Chuck watch from the bar and she asks if what he feels for her is real or if he sees it as just a game. He replies it's just a game and she's free to go if she wishes. She leaves and Serena asks him why he let her go. He answers that while he loves her, while he loves her, he can't make her happy. While he loves Blair, he can't make her happy, which is something Nate can do. Back at the table, Georgina is fascinated with Poppy's I can't say that. Philanthropic side. She says that she would love to be a part of something like that, and her father would like to too. Poppy says that she can make her payment, she can find her way to get her in. Excited, Georgina calls an offer to make a bank, set up a wire transfer. Poppy says since it's last minute, she can only accept cash. Back at the bar, Nate tells Serena that the police just pulled up. Confusingly, Serena says she thought Chuck was calling his PI, but Blair says he left, but so long they have the recording. The police will find it. Serena goes to tell Poppy that it's emergency money and goes to text her dad for more money. Poppy says that the amount Georgina receives a text from Blair asking if she's right. Georgina says God intended them for me. God intended for them to meet, and Poppy says she'll call her later before taking him. Outside, the police arrest Serena just as Blair comes out to see what's going on. They also come out and they tell the police they got the wrong girl. They reply they didn't and put Serena back in the squad car. Serena yells at them to call Chuck as the police drive away. As they watch, Poppy sneaks out of the door. Blair goes inside and accuses Georgina of sabotaging the plan to have Serena arrested. Georgina panics and says that Poppy got away. She stole the money and she was given by the camp to buy Bibles with it. Blair doesn't believe her, retaliates that Georgina is evil through and through, and at the Vander Woods, Rufus confronts Lily about the file. She asks him about the bags of money matching their investment, and she admits the deal didn't work out. He asks her about a different plan for him to give money behind his back every month. She explains she was just trying to help, because it was so hard to see him agonize over not saying Dan to Yale. Her phone rings and she excuses herself. At the police station, Serena tries to explain that they were supposed to arrest Poppy for fraud. The cops then cuff her and remove the bracelet Lily gave her, saying she stole it. Shocked, Serena says that she didn't steal it and tells them to call Lily to confirm it. The cops reply that Lily was the one who called it in. Yeah, Lily was the one who told them that the bracelet was stolen. That Serena stole the bracelet. However, Lily hangs up with the police and tells Rufus that Serena was arrested because she made it happen. Rufus wonders why she would do that, and Lily explains that she had to get Serena away from the Poppy situation. However, he doesn't think she handled it the right way, and she replies that she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. And she notices everything he set up and asks what this all is. He answers it was that him proposing to her was a mistake, and he leaves. Meanwhile, Chuck, him trying to propose to her was a mistake, and he leaves. Chuck actually doesn't say that, but that's basically what he was trying to say to him, saying that him wanting to marry her was a mistake. Him asking her to marry him was a mistake. So he decides to leave before asking it. Meanwhile, Chuck arrives at the police station and goes to talk with the police. Nate and Blair goes outside and she admits that they didn't think should be moving in together. She agrees and says that he was using the apartment to force her issues, but she thinks it's a big two-step. She laughs and says the more important step is for asking to prom. Her phone ends, or Georgina is the other one, talking in the cold way she used to. She informs Blair that she's taking care of what everyone else couldn't. Blair says Jesus wouldn't approve, and Georgina tells her to inform Jesus that, Georgina's back to her previously evil self. Georgina's back to her previously evil and manipulative self. I don't want to say what it actually says, so I'm just going to say that Georgina tells Blair that she's back to tell Jesus that she's back to her evil and manipulative self. That's a better way of saying it than saying what she actually said. It's revealed that she's sitting in a car waiting for Poppy to sleep, so she tells the driver to follow it. At the Vanderwoods, and Lily drinks wine alone after her fight with Rufus. At the loft, Rufus gives Dan Jenny the ring back and tells them to return it for him. Outside the police station, Nate, Chuck, and Blair work to get the police to let Serena out of jail. Nate calls different connections to find answers, while Blair tells the detectives that the bracelet in question has been in the family for years, so it can be stolen. Inside, Serena gets her mugshot taken, ending the episode. So yeah, that was episode 23. Wow, really interesting. Georgina came back as a good person just for Blair to confront her, and now Georgina is back to her previously evil ways, manipulative ways. Yeah, it's kind of weird that just Blair confronting Georgina about not being evil, about still being evil, is what makes Georgina flip back to her evil self. Serena's been arrested. We're gonna put the next 2 episodes already. I was gonna do that tomorrow, but I'm really excited. I'm just really excited to get this done and get on season 3. Season 3 is gonna be tomorrow's video. Today, we are going to finish season 2 because we have the last 2 episodes left, and I just want to review them. So yeah, So Serena's been arrested. Georgina's back to her manipulative ways thanks to Blair confronting her and telling her that Georgina's still evil. Nate realized that him asking Blair to marry him, Blair asking him to move in with him was way too fast for their relationship. Rufus realized that Lily's a liar and that he was wrong to ask, that he was so excited to ask her to marry him, and then that she was keeping too many secrets from him about the dividends, about Serena going to jail, that she realizes that, yeah, Lily's a terrible person. So Lily's sometimes a terrible mother and a worse person. So he decides that, yeah, he doesn't feel like this is the right moment to marry her. So he tells Jenny and Rufus to return the ring. What else is a very good reason? Trying to think. Okay, what else is a very good reason to this episode? Okay, Eric has seen. That's it. He wasn't fully committed, and yeah, we had that Georgina line. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, you love me. That's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for the final 2 episodes of Gossip Girl Season 2. That will be right after this video. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time for Season 1, Episode 24 and 25 of Gossip Girl. And say that line, say that Gabriel, say the phone. Does anyone know Gabriel line, Georgina?